In case you've forgotten, we're here to help you be a better dungeon master. This is how to be a better DM. Today we're going to be talking about 11 things every dungeon master should remember, part 2. Yesterday was part 1, today is part 2. We're going to start up with number 7. But before that, let me just tell you who I am. My name is Justin Lewis. I've been dungeon mastering for about 7-8 years now, and I've been doing this podcast for over 160 episodes, which has allowed me to really dig into the nuances of being a dungeon master, talk with some pretty amazing people who have expert experience. I guess that's a little bit redundant, but expert experience in real-life situations such as blacksmiths, voice actors, and even improv comedians. I wanted to say that differently, but I didn't. Anyways, jeez, I am on a roll today. But we're all doing this to help you shorten the learning curve of being a dungeon master. Take your novice experience and advance it to being experienced. Again, with the redundancies. I guess again with the redundancies. That's also redundant. Whatever. And we're doing all of this to help you be a better dungeon master. As I said, today is the second part of our podcast yesterday, so 11 things every dungeon master should remember. One thing you should remember about today's episode and yesterday's is I'm doing a bit different. I'm doing a little bit more loose, a little bit more off the cuff, and hopefully you enjoy it more. Generally, I'm a little bit more scripted. Today, not so much. More it's about bullet points and things I want to tell you. So they're a lot more like my Instagram lives that I've been doing. And I want to know if you like it and if you think it's cool. If you're watching this on YouTube also, let me know how you think, what you think about my background and how it can be improved and really just what can make your viewing experience much better. My head's askew. I'm going to fix my hat. There I go. Number 7. This is the secret of the Jonas Brothers' success. If you're not familiar, the Jonas Brothers are a musical group that started on the Disney Channel. Much like other Disney Channel groups, they are, they're sort of interesting because while they're on the Disney Channel, they're kind of corny, they're exciting, they're like, yeah! And then they move away from the Disney Channel, they take some time to themselves, and then they sort of rebrand. Hannah Montana did this. I think Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato also did this. Although with the females, I think it's a little bit easier to do this than if you're the Jonas Brothers. I digress. Back in high school, as I've already mentioned, I did percussion. So I was in percussion class, and our instructor, who is a really cool guy by the name of Mike Hustis, he kind of stopped the class because we were doing this practice, and he had everyone pay attention because he was going to give us a lecture about someone. And he said, really kind of in regards to one of our classmates who didn't have a lot of confidence, didn't really seem like they were kind of into it. And he said, you need to be like the Jonas Brothers. All right. You need to commit and you need to own it. Own who you are. All right. The Jonas Brothers make a lot of money, frankly. They make a lot more money than I do. And to be fair, they had a very different start than I did, right? They were on the Disney Channel. They had to be the Jonas Brothers on the Disney Channel before they could be the Jonas Brothers of today. But they committed to that. Same thing with the Wiggles. The Wiggles make a ton of money, and yet they're still the Wiggles, okay? Because they commit to what they are, and they do it full-fledged. And I tell you this story to sort of illustrate the point for number 7, which is make it corny until it's not. And I do this a little bit to kind of remind myself, specifically as it regards in-combat dialogue. So when you hit the bad guy and then the bad guy says, it doesn't matter, we're still going to win. Stuff like that. You need to be okay with it being corny. The Jonas Brothers were kind of corny at the beginning, right? And now they're actually something to be taken seriously. You need to be okay looking like a fool until you don't. It's called practice. When you are playing D&D, you're going to come up with NPCs. You're going to make things up on the spot. You're going to come up with storylines that to you aren't exactly fully there, but they're the best you got right now. That's okay. And in fact, that's wonderful because the